In this lesson, we'll be looking at drafting the basic sleeve pattern. The measurements we'll be needing are the top arm, length of arm, that's the sleeve length. So we'll be using our top arm measurements to determine the sleeve proportions we'll be using. So for this draft, we'll be using top arm of 30 centimeters and sleeve length, that's length of arm of 58 centimeters. So we need to draw a box, or at least have a sheet of paper or a box measuring top arm plus 5 centimeters along this short edge, and then length of arm minus 1 centimeter along this long edge. This is the length of the sleeve, while this is the bicep or the top arm measurements. So this place is the top arm plus 5 centimeters, and then the length of the sleeve minus 1 centimeter. So for this draft, top arm is 30 centimeters plus 5. That gives me this measurement from here to here as 35, while the length of arm is 58. So 58 minus 1 gives me 57 from here to here. So this is our top line, and then this is our sleeve M. So I'm going to label this as, this is the top line, and then our M line. So right now we're going to measure our depth of crown, 13 centimeters below the top line. Refer to the table of proportions to know the depth of arm you'll be using for your top arm measurement. So for this, for the 30 centimeter top arm, I'll be using depth of crown of 13 centimeters. So I'm going to measure 13 centimeters below the top line. So I have my 13, and I'll connect this with a straight line. So this is my depth of crown. The next thing to do, I'm going to divide this box into two for the front part and then the back part, and then I'll further divide each of those into two, so that will be 4 equal parts. You mark that point on the top line, the depth of crown line, and then the M line. So this is our depth of crown, or DC line. So this line, this is top line, DC line, and then the M line. So I'll label this point here as point T. Then I'm going to divide each of these into 2 equal parts. So you find this measurement and divide into 2. So repeat the same for this side. This is the back, and then this is the front. So this line here represents the middle line. So we have the back of the sleeve and the front of the sleeve. So on this line, this middle line on the back of the sleeve, I'm going to come down from the top line 5.5 centimeters and label this point B. That's B for back. Then on the middle line on the front part of the sleeve, I'm going to come down by 6 centimeters and label this point F. This point here is our U underarm point, and this is also U underarm point. So these 2 points are underarm points, because when you are sewing it, this point and this point will be together. So both of them are the underarm points. So I'm going to connect U to B, B to T, T to F, and then F to U with a straight line. So I'm going to find the midpoint of these 4 lines here. You measure this line and then find the midpoint. So we have the midpoint. So from the back pattern, we'll look at this midpoint here and go in by 1 centimeter. So going in, that's below the line inside the pattern. So you make sure your ruler is perpendicular to this line, that's at right angles to this line, and measure 1 centimeter. Then at this point between B and T here, we are going to go up by 1 centimeter. Then between point T and F, we are coming up by 1.2 centimeters. Between point F and U, we are going to come down by 1.5 centimeters there. So we are going to use our armhole curve to connect this point here with a curve. connect this like so, turn this to this side, and connect this up here. So we have to ensure that we have a smooth transition here. So you take this way, and then you turn this like this. So we have this. So this is the basic sleeve pattern. We have the front of the sleeve, the back of the sleeve. This is the center line, the M line. This is the sleeve edge, which has the depth of crown, and we have these two lines here and here as the underarm line or seam. So we can leave this as it is, since this is our master pattern, or you can cut this out without any seam allowance. We are going to put a notch here, just one. The one notch indicates the front of the sleeve, while two notches indicates the back of the sleeve. So our center line also stands as our pattern green line.